Suzuki S-Cross, now with hybrid power.
Where are we? It's amazing where an S-Cross will get you, isn't it?
Especially this 2020 hybrid.
It may not be the highest ride height, but it's versatile, practical, and looks the part too, and is turbocharged.
The S-Cross first arrived in 2013, and this is the hybrid 2020 version.
It's powered by a 1.4 booster jet engine. Yes, the engine you find in the Swift Sport, so it can perform. Granted, it's a touch bigger, well, quite a bit bigger, but it's still pretty punchy, even a sport mode. And you have Allgrip too.
Prices for the range start at just under £21,000. The model we have here is the SZ5. It has a panoramic sunroof, but more on that later. And it costs just under 28 with options.
There is no diesel option. You can get a petrol and a hybrid, manuals and automatic. This is the automatic.
And now it's time for a bit of adventurous picnicking.
It is.
The S-Cross first appeared in 2013, and 3 years later we saw the facelift. This 2020 hybrid builds on that, and it's got a more aggressive look with a sloping bonnet and this new grille with the vertical lines that is all in chrome. You've got automatic LED projector headlamps with high beam assist. You've also got rain sensing wipers. You've got LED daytime running lights and fog lights. The bumper is hard plastic. It gives it a very much an off-roady look, and it does help when you're adventuring, but it also has a special feature. It's been specifically designed to cushion and minimise impact in the event of a collision with a pedestrian. There's lots of safety on this car, including radar braking, active cruise control, and you also have parking sensors. It comes with polished 17-inch alloy wheels with a mid-range tyre which will give you comfort on and off-road, and there are other sizes available. You have electrically operated power folding door mirrors, which are heated. Roof rails, we have the SZ5 model, which gives you the panoramic sliding sunroof. The chrome continues down the side, which is a nice look and offsets the black here, and the rear privacy glass. The off-road look is continued here. It is offset with this satin trim. This is the SX4 hybrid, and it comes with Allgrip. You have nicely sculpted rear lenses, a rear spoiler, high-level brake light with a reversing camera, and parking sensors.
Let's see how easy it is to get into the S-Cross. Nice raised ride height, so that should help quite a bit. Keyless entry here as well. Doors open nice and wide. A nice wide door opening too. No handle here though, and easy to grab. As soon as you step in, you can tell this is a compact city crossover. It's got a very sporty feel. White stitching on this leatherette seating, big panoramic sunroof. We've even got active cruise control. You can also tell it's capable as well because of Allgrip. And there is a bit of flex to things like the door cards. But overall, it's well put together, and there's soft touches on top of the cluster, in front of the passenger. Yes, the top of the doors are hard touch. You also see blue on the cluster, and that tells you it's hybrid. We've got all-round electric windows, power folding heated electrically operated door mirrors. To the right hand side we can disable things like parking sensors. You can also disable your start stop here, and there's other shortcut buttons as well. Media controls on the left, telephony down here, and on the right hand side active cruise control. Very clear cluster and fuel computer. It'll also tell you when the battery's charging for the hybrid system. The fuel computer displays a range of information, including the distancing for your active cruise control. You can always see things like MPG, distance from the car in front with active cruise control, things like that. You have a moderate size infotainment system, has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, DAB radio. You can also get satellite navigation. There's also other settings in there as well. And of course it doubles as a reversing camera. Below that you've got dual zone air conditioning, and lovely twisty dials and digital reading here. Under that 12-volt socket we also have heated seats on our model as well. Manual gearbox, you can get an auto, and your Allgrip control with different modes, even a lock function. And finally, an old school handbrake, perfect if you're doing a little bit of adventuring. It also has hill start assist as well. There's also an auto dimming interior mirror. Practicality wise, at 6'3", because we've got a panoramic sunroof, it does eat into my headroom just a bit. There is still enough, but you might have to be a little lower in the seat. I've got lots of leg room, and realistically I could put my seat a little further forward. I've got footrest on the left hand side, and overall it's a very nice driving position. Nice padded armrest on the right, and this area is padded too. And don't forget the centre armrest. The manually adjustable seats, and they've got quite a chunky side bolster, finished off nicely with this white stitching, and they're very comfortable. I've got a moderate sized door bin, cup holder at the front, and extra section just at the back. You've got a storage handage pot. There's a handy storage pot on the right hand side of the steering wheel, extra storage in the centre, perfect for a mobile phone, and 2 cup holders here. And if we lift up the armrest, decent sized storage point with a USB. Finished off with a decent sized glove box. Let's see how easy it is to step into the back. The doors open nice and wide. We also have a grab handle. The raised ride height does make it simple getting in the back as well. With a compact crossover, especially with a sloping roof, headroom is a bit limited, but one thing to remember is these seats recline, which means if they're in the upright position, you may not have quite as much headroom. So I've put it in the reclined and I've got more. And in case you're wondering, I am 6'3". I'll just change it now so you can see the difference. And I have literally no headroom. So my advice, keep it in comfort. Passenger wise, 2 adults on a long journey, as long as they're not too tall, very comfortable. 3 children, no problem, and 3 adults, short journeys. You've also got a pull down armrest with 2 cup holders. There's also Isofix on the back of the seats as well. This area is nice and big, and I can easily get my feet under the seats. With the panoramic, it's nice and light and airy, even with the privacy glass. Got airbags up here, and one interesting thing to note is the grab handles above each door except the driver's. It's nice and comfortable. You've got the sporty stitching that you see in the front. You've got a recess here for your knees and a mat pocket as well. And the door cards are lightened up nicely with this satin finish here. You've got an electric window and an interestingly designed cup holder. It would have been nice to see some power points here, but you can always pinch the one inside the cupboard. Keyless entry means it's nice and easy to open the boot. Once open, look, no boot lip and 430 litres of space. Nice square space. Split folding rear seats, storage on the left and the right, and if we lift up the floor, extra storage as well. Boot light on the right hand side and tether points as well. Shopping bag hook here and 12-volt socket. Nice and easy to remove the parcel shelf, just unhook, and if you're wanting to recline the seats or drop them, you just press the button here. This is the comfort position and this is the extra storage position. To bring it back into the comfort position, push in this and let go. To drop the seats, push this forward and there you go. Very small gap between the seats, but it's not entirely flat, but it's still quite roomy.
And then we picnicked. Good morning. I'm behind the wheel of the Suzuki S-Cross. It's the 2020 hybrid version and it's powered by a 1.4 litre booster jet engine.
Ooh, turbocharged out of the Swift Sport, a damn fine engine.
Which I know you like very much.
But this is a self-charging hybrid, isn't it?
It means you don't have to plug it in.
It does.
And it charges whilst you decelerate and brake, and you can feel it.
You can. It's a bit like a very light regen.
And because of that, it gives more economy and reduces CO2 emissions.
It does.
And when we were adventuring the other day, we really did actually feel that, didn't we?
We did, yeah. It may not have the highest ride height, but it is pretty capable. You've got your Allgrip control down here, snow and mud to the left, sport to the right. And if you push the centre, that's auto. If it loses traction, it regains rather quickly. Hey, there we go. What it tries to do is anticipate when there's going to be a challenge in the terrain. And then what it will do is identify which wheels are slipping and give power to the ones that aren't.
Very nifty. As you were saying to me the other day, Ben, Suzuki have how many years in four-wheel drive experience?
Well, the LJ10 was their first four-wheel drive, wasn't it? Which means that's 50 years ago. So that's 50 years of experience in off-roading. The thing that struck me when we were on those muddy trails was how comfortable it was.
Yeah.
Other four-wheel drive SUVs, shall we call it, you do realise when you're hitting these big bumps.
It handles well. I like the fact that you can take it adventuring, but it's also great around the city.
Well, that's the thing about a subcompact crossover, isn't it? Or a compact crossover. I'm kind of losing track of what the names of these vehicles are now. All I know is it's perfect when you take it up the lakes, and it's perfect in the city with the hybrid powertrain. But what I noticed driving it the other day is it's very comfortable unless you hit a really immense pothole, and then you'll get a slight bang. But it does have a nice profile on the tyre.
Well, it's mid-profile, so you're going to get comfort. And I do like the fact that it's quite nippy, especially off the light.
My word, Annabelle.
Because it means you can just get out of the way, you get on with your day, and it's perfect for the city. 235 newton meters of torque.
You do. And it may not be the fastest vehicle, but it still feels, like you mentioned, nippy.
And it's sport mode, and it is responsive.
It is. What I did notice is, because it's got a smaller engine and it's a bigger vehicle, the higher up the revs you do lose a bit of puff, but that makes sense.
But they have designed this to perform as well as a 2 litre.
It does feel bigger than a 1.4.
See, even going around that roundabout, there was hardly any body roll.
Even when I booted it, it felt planted. And that's the thing about this vehicle. It does feel very under control at all times. There was an example of hitting a pothole. It did dip a bit, but it's not
bone jarring, is it?
And there's not much roll, which is what you need.
Exactly, it's Britain, you expect potholes.
Now obviously the faster you go, you will get more lean. But at no point, even when I was, let's say, spiritedly driving around the Lake District. See what sport mode's like. Well, it's definitely made the engine more responsive. The thing about having a turbo, if you're in the right gear, you can really zip away. This looks like a great place to stop for lunch.
Yeah. Yep.
It didn't feel out of control. It felt very well poised and very well planted. And that's what I want in a crossover SUV, because let's face it, they are taller than a normal car.
Well, that's it. With both of our distinct driving styles, I'm going to say this, and I know I say it a lot, it ticks all the boxes, doesn't it, Ben?
Yes. As for driving on A roads and B roads, well, it holds its own. If you're in the wrong gear, you will need to drop a gear. On an A road and a B road, it's great fun. You've got enough acceleration to make it engaging. On a motorway, you'll easily get up to the 70-mile-an-hour limit. Nippy acceleration in second then.
Exactly. No lag at all.
No. Well, that's a combination, isn't it, of having a hybrid with a little electric motor and a turbo.
And also, that integrated starter motor powers other things in the car.
Well, it's designed to take load off the 12-volt battery, isn't it?
Yeah, which is clever.
Yeah, it is. It means that the engine can operate at optimum levels all the time without having drained from, say, climate control or electric seats.
And the thing is, with teched up cars nowadays, there's a lot that can drain the battery. The 6-speed gearbox is smooth, it's not notchy, perfect for what you get with this car.
It is, yeah. I know I keep saying it, but you can have quite a bit of fun in this.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of the booster jet engine.
What a surprise!
I know.
The brakes are good, they're responsive, and you have front radar braking.
You do on this model. Saying that, you've also got active cruise control as well. First time we've seen it on a Suzuki. It's a very good system as well. Displays at the top of the cluster. Ooh, a Jimny!
Oh, nice.
Hello, Jimny.
You can set the adaptive cruise control using the buttons on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. And because it's adaptive, it will slow you down if it detects a car in front of you.
Yeah, it's a good system, isn't it? It's nice and clear as well on the cluster. Shows you the distance from the vehicle in front.
It does. And it's easy to set the distance as well.
Ooh, Swift! Suzuki day today, isn't it?
It is! I like the fact you can just glance down and see, like for instance, I'm on 39.7. The steering's responsive, it's light, but it tightens up when you need it to, and it goes exactly where you want it to go.
It can be quite an engaging drive, can't it?
That's the word for it. I was looking for the...
Ooh, another Swift!
It's a Swifter!
It is.
My economy's gone up. It's now 39.9.
You're ruining my fast economy.
I am.
Well, it's not really economy my driving, is it?
No, not with your heavy foot. But that's the great thing about our different driving styles.
It is.
Your
Well, it arrived with 45 mpg, didn't it?
It did. Your heavy foot, I'm driving Miss Daisy.
You are.
Yeah, it was my Daisy top.
The one thing you may be thinking about is, with this hybrid system, does it make it heavier? Well, it's a lightweight system, and it's combined with a lightweight, strong chassis as well, so no.
It also helps that the batteries for the hybrid are underneath the front seats.
Well, that means they don't take up any space.
Clever.
There's lots to love about this. I mean, yes, okay, I'm a fan of the booster jet, as we know, but it makes it more economical as well with the hybrid system integrated. Practical, versatile.
It's great in the city and fantastic when you're adventuring. Take one for a test drive and you'll see what we mean.
Great prices too.
With 3 grades to choose from, you have versatility, practicality, and adventuring capabilities if you so need it. With enhanced safety, 20% lower CO2 emissions, lots of space, and don't forget the punchy turbocharged hybrid powertrain, which delivers improved fuel economy. It's NCAP 5 and the range starts from just over £20,000.